Focus. Focus up. I'm talking to you, Jenna. We're going to have a great show. You're going to remain focused, and then you're going to get on your little car or whatever you got, and you're going to go see the ride with Chevy and Nasty at their big event. If you guys know what I'm talking about, good. If you don't, look it up, the ride with Chevy and Nasty. They have a great men's health event out in Canada. I don't know the city. I can't pronounce it anyway. Hey, welcome to episode 63 of the Rubio Method. My name is Chris Rubio. Hopefully you figured that out. I'm glad that you're watching on, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course, X, the Rubio Method. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, tell everyone, hey, Rubio's on right now. He's going to have a great show for about the next 50 to 60 minutes, and we're going to have a good time. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to start with people that don't like me. It happens. What are you going to do? And then we're going to hit all 5 categories. Number 1, everything happens for a reason. We're going to talk about a dude using a kid as a prop. And I got a lot of flack about it on YouTube and TikTok. We're going to talk about it because it was like one of my biggest, let's say, skits or whatever this week. Then we're going to go to there are winners and losers in life. Denver is getting overrun with cocky illegal aliens. And I need someone to explain it to me because I just don't understand it. And well, Florida just continues to crush it. I don't understand why everyone just doesn't follow Florida's lead. Then we're going to jump over to accept and embrace. We're going to talk about women signing up for rage rituals. And we're going to try to keep Jenna off of them and that people need to be proud of themselves. I don't understand why you're not. Then we're going to jump to working hard is not enough. College students continue to act like toddlers, and Canada blows 8 million loonies or toonies or dollars or whatever, trying to find something that wasn't really even there. And then we're going to end with confidence is the key. A football coach with good morals, but it's not going to work. And some common sense might be back in the state of Washington, D.C. All of that and much more on today's episode of the Rubio Method. Jenna, I'm out.
Welcome to the Rubio Method. Venture into the unfiltered world of Chris Rubio. The Rubio Method delivers an unapologetically edgy take on the often overlooked world of men's mental health. Rubio, a master communicator, wields a potent knack for no BS enlightenment. Step into this no-nonsense arena, where men are challenged to evolve and confront the man staring back at them from the mirror.
I like that one, Jenna. I don't know. You said you didn't like that one. I think it sounds good. Made me sound very prestigious. And I feel like I am. And I am unapologetic. So what are you going to do? Welcome back to episode 63. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, sharing, doing all that good stuff on X, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And this will be on Spotify and Apple within 24 hours. So be on the lookout of that as well. All right. So I'm talking to my kid. Okay. I have 3 boys. One's 12, one's 21, one's almost 22. And he's telling me he's at a bar, he's doing his 21-year-old thing, doing whatever. And he tells me, hey, there's a guy here that doesn't like you. And he expected me to be almost pissed about it. I said, oh, okay. And he's getting flustered. He's more of the getting your kind of face kid. And I go, why does this bother you, man? Well, I don't understand. Why would you care? And he goes, but he's saying bad things about you. And I said, okay, but are they true? He says, no, they're not true. And I said, so who's he talking to? And he's talking to my buddies. And I go, they know me. Do they know it's not true? He goes, yeah, they know it's not true. Then I said, so why do you care? I go, well, what's the difference? You think you're going to please every single person in life? It's impossible. You're not going to. I know there's a lot of people that watch my show and they like it. And I know there's a lot of people that don't watch it. You know why? Because they don't like it. And that's fine with me because I don't need them to like it. Not everyone's going to like every single thing you do. And that's okay. That's why I have friends that have different shows. Some of them are really good where they get a big audience. Some are not as good, but I find them very entertaining. And that's okay. Not everyone's going to like every single thing. Jenna likes poutine. I don't like poutine because it's trash. All right. And that's okay. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to have a little bit of pride in yourself. And if someone doesn't like you, move on. You can't please everyone. My grandfather, who passed away, I think in like 94, he used to have a great expression. He would always say, Christopher, the day you find out when someone doesn't like you is one of the best days in your life. I remember I was like 9 or 10 years old when he told me this. I go, why? And he says, because once you know that, you don't have to be nice to that person anymore. They're just out of your life. They're gone. Poof, they're a fart in the wind. I said, you know what? That's something that stuck with me the entire time. It's great. So this person that doesn't like me and they're telling everyone, okay, I'll just let my own friends talk good about me when this guy tries to talk bad. So this guy was trying to talk bad to my own kid and his friends. And they were like, yeah, that's not the way Rubio is at all, man. You're completely mistaken. And so they just proved my point for me. And this kid or adult, he's just an idiot. and we just move on, and that's one less person we have to speak to. So there's that. And so we're going to move on with the show now as well. Everything happens for a reason. All right, so every single day I put out the rundown with Rubio, and I just cover 5 quick stories just like this, but it's a lot quicker. We're talking about 3 minutes total. And last week I put out one, and this got a lot of heat for me on YouTube and TikTok. It's basically this man, I think it's a transgender man, or if it's just a dude trying to act like a woman, I don't know, but he's gone viral for this video. And I posted the video, and I'm going to post it right now. Jenna, can you show me video 1, please?
Oh no, I put it back on her.
I know, but I thought that's all.
Oh, he went there. Oh, right. Here we go. Oh, there she goes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here's what happened. Jenna's already fired up. She said, not fair to that child. This guy adopts, and he's like a social media influencer. He's one of those that he's got the full beard, long hair, all that. And he adopts this baby. And the videos beforehand show him in a wheelchair, like being wheeled around. And if you've ever been with a pregnant woman that's about to give birth, you know all hell's about to break loose. Okay, I've been there, done that. My best advice to everyone, stay up at the head. Okay, you don't need to see the way that the hot dog is made. That's all I'm going to tell about that. So he's being wheeled around in a wheelchair like he's about to give birth. You're not about to give birth, dude. You're adopting a kid, which I'm all for adoption. If you want to adopt someone, or if you feel like you can't take care of the child and you want to put it up for adoption, that's great. But he's being wheeled around like that's just weird. Like, you're not even doing anything. You're walking in there, and then he's laying down in the bed. Hi, Nana Mona, how are you? He's laying down in the bed like they do. All hell breaks loose. The woman gives birth, and they immediately put the baby on the mom's chest as a bonding moment / hey, let me hear the outside of your heart now that I've been inside, this cave the entire time. And he's just sitting there with his long fingernails, long beard, long hair, and it's just, ooh. I don't get it. And maybe I'm wrong here because everyone on TikTok and YouTube were saying, oh, this baby is going to be loved. How do you know? And I said, how do you know it's going to be loved? Because all I know just by looking at it, and this comment got taken off of YouTube, was I just see a dude with like a mental health issue where there's something wrong. If you've got long nails and you're thinking that you just delivered this baby, what am I doing here? And you can't say, oh, well, he identifies as the mom. Can I identify as someone with an afro right now? I don't think I can. And I don't think I would because it's hot and I wouldn't want to. But I just don't get what's going on there. Jenna, do you have a commercial, or not a commercial, an email question before I go to the next part of this? You should see what Jenna just wrote. Rubio, have you ever thought about running for president? Oh, daily. I would love it. My wife would hate it, but I would 100% run for president. I would have to be, I would need certain people by my side that I would, like my VP be a great little pick. I would have maybe sub 60 ed. I would need certain people to make sure that I can speak certain ways because I'm unapologetically truthful, as I think that promo said. And it's one of those, I would need AC telling me what I can and cannot say, and then I would listen, and then I would still say whatever the hell I wanted to say. But I would rule with an iron fist. It would get ugly fast. You'd have probably 30 to 40% of the country would hate me, but I would get stuff done. Okay, it would just be, I would get it done immediately. Going back to the kid, what is this kid's life going to be like? Like you're thinking, okay, it's because people are arguing, he's going to be loved, Rubio, he's going to be loved. Well, how do you know that? Okay, how do you know that? Because I'm seeing that he's just going to be raised in a world of delusion. And if he thinks that this is the norm, and I know you can't say normal anymore, but that's just, I mean, if I all of a sudden next week came in with long blonde wig, long fingernails, and, acting like a woman, you'd be like, well, what's going on? It'd be very, very odd. And my last question on this, then we'll go to a commercial. Who is running these adoption agencies? There's got to be thousands of other families that want a kid, and this kid gets placed with this guy. Like, it doesn't seem right to me. It seems like someone pulled some strings or cards or whatever, how you want to say it. And what's going on? Because if I'm in a quote unquote normal family and say my wife or we can't have kids for any sort of reason, and I see this dude gets a kid first, I'm looking around going, hey man, what's going on? I just don't get it. So, I mean, kind of a downer of an intro segment, but the story before it was funny, and we're going to have some good stories after this. But I just wanted to get that one out there just because I wanted to hear some comments on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, and we'll just see if we go from there. Next, we're going to talk about there are winners and losers in life, but this story just makes me laugh because Denver, my God, what the hell are you doing? That's coming up. Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching The Rubio Method.
Our dedicated staff is ready to work for you. ArcBeat specializes in custom apparel. Call us or order online. Free shipping nationwide. Custom printed shirts are our specialty, and we make sure you get exactly what you want. Bring in your own design or let our team create one for you. Promote your business, event, or club with pens, caps, bottles, mugs, and more.
Creating cool since 1985.
Take it away, Rubio. Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up to, I don't know who was doing that. There was like a DJ back there. I heard "Take It Away, Rubio" twice. And to be honest, I kind of liked it. Welcome back to episode 63 of the Rubio Method. We're having a great show so far. Let's talk about their winners and losers in life. The winners are the illegals, and the losers are the residents of Denver. So as you know, Denver is a sanctuary city. Sanctuary city just means, hey, if you're an illegal alien, come on in. We'll take it. Open arms. Welcome. We want you all. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. L'chaim, come on in. So Denver said, we're a sanctuary city, bring them in. So they are overrun with illegal aliens right now. And the best part about it is the illegal aliens, they have shelters. Okay, so they have these shelters that Denver set up to go there. The illegals don't like the shelters, and so they're making these like little hobo villages. So the little shanty towns they're making, and Denver's going to them and saying, hey, guys, we have a shelter for you. Please go to the shelter. Illegals, no, we don't want to. And you know what? If we do, we have a list of demands. Okay, Jenna, can you show them the list of demands, please? It's clip 2. Okay, these are their demands. They want to cook their own food with ingredients provided by the city. They want shower access available without time limits. Okay, so they're probably giving them like a 5-minute time limit because they're going to run out of water and hot water at that. They want medical visits will happen regularly, referrals, connections to specialty care. Receive same housing support offered to others. They already get it. Shelter residents will receive employment support and consultations with a free immigration lawyer. Okay, now let me remind you, they are here illegally and they're demanding all this stuff. I'd like some fresh produce, please. And yeah, I don't want the oatmeal. I want fresh berries with my oatmeal. What are you talking about? Are you kidding? You get nothing. You get absolutely nothing. Well, you should be arrested immediately and sent back. And then they're having these demands. I want you to imagine that you're living in your house, and then all of a sudden someone walks in the front door and just sits down on the couch and says, "Hey, Rubio, I don't like this couch. Is there any way you can go to Costco and get me a new one, or get me one of those love seats that have like the speakers in the butt cheeks? Would you have one of those?" You say, "Get the hell! Number one, get out of my house. Number two, get the hell out of here." Okay, and number 3, no. And then, oh, by the way, Rubio, while you're out, can you run to the grocery store and get me some fresh food? I'm from Mexico, so I want Spanish rice, and I want beans, and I want tamales, and I want all this. No. Number one, you're not getting any food from me. And number 2, if I was going to feed you, you get whatever I'm cooking. Why would I give you anything for what you want when you're here illegally? I don't understand. If anyone can explain to me how this is allowed. Like, why would you even stand for this? And the city's even begging them, like, guys, we have shelters for you. Please go. No, you got to meet our demands first. So they've just set up this hobo village. I don't understand it, but okay. And I don't feel bad for Denver at all. Like, oh, Rubio, you should have some compassion. Why? You said you want to be a sanctuary city. There you go, bud. This is what you're going to do. It's like, Rubio, you said you wanted to shave your head. Now you got a sunburn on your head, which I don't, but sometimes you could. Do I feel bad for me? No, I don't, because I could have done it. Jenna just emailed, Rubio, are you doing your show through the summer months or taking a break? Oh, hell no. We're doing it through the whole summer. Okay. It might be in different locations. Okay. It might be on a different day, but it's usually going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday. Never on a weekend. That's usually just my family time. But yeah, we'll definitely do it during the week throughout the summer, but it might be at different locations because I bounce around a lot during the summer, and we might have some special guests. Who knows? It's going to be a fun time. Florida is absolutely crushing. This is part 2 of their winners and losers in life. Florida is absolutely crushing it in DeSantis. And I keep saying it. I don't know why every other governor, if you're in a quote unquote red state, just doesn't see what DeSantis does and then say the next day, hey, we're going to do what DeSantis does. Merry Christmas. Okay. Watch what he does to protesters that are trying to get into block the roads for Disney World. Jenna, clip 3, please.
This weekend, we had Queers for Palestine think they could take over the intersection going into Disney World. Florida Highway Patrol got them off in, I think, 11 minutes. So I think that's a world record.
So you had, here's the best part. It's Queers for Palestine. That's the name of their organization, Queers for Palestine. We'll come back to that in a second because the irony is, so you could taste the irony on that. So Queers for Palestine, there's an entrance to Disney World. If you've ever been to Disney World or Disneyland, it's not exactly a traffic-free zone. There's 12,000 people going in per minute. So all hell's breaking loose. And that's the last thing you want to do before you pay $40 for parking and $7,000 to get in and have 2 churros and a Slurpee and a Mickey Mouse balloon that your kid's going to pop on the way out. So they get at the sign, Queers for Palestine, and they're blocking the road. DeSantis' people go in 11 minutes, get them out. And he's like, that might be a new record. It might be. And I'm hoping that they drug them out by their hair because that's what I was doing. Craig Hanna, what's up, man? Hey, you have fun out there in Calgary. That's what I was going to say. Calgary, you're doing that event with Ryan and Chevy and Nasty tonight. Watch your food intake, man. Hopefully you brought some American food up there. And DeSantis is just crushing it. Why doesn't everyone just follow him? The next thing he did, he said, okay, June is Pride Month. We can still have Pride Month, all that stuff. But all the bridges, what? Jenna, he did not. Jenna says he wanted poutine. Craig wanted poutine for lunch. Well, you tell Craig he's on my list now. Tell him don't even text me tonight. I don't even want to know how the event goes because now I'm upset. Now he's pissed me off. Dead serious. Men's mental health movie night at the legendary Cochran Theater. I'm not talking to you anymore, Craig. You're on my good graces. No, I'm done talking to him. Jenna, don't post his comments anymore today because it's going to get me fired up. I wish I had hair so I could pull it out right now. Back to what I was saying. So June is Pride Month, as everyone knows, because you're about to be inundated with Pride ads all over the place. And they used to but have the bridges in Florida, there's a lot of them, light up the rainbow colors for gay pride. And now he says, no, we're not doing that this year. We're going to light them up red, white, and blue, and it's going to be called Freedom Summer. So it's going to be rah, 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 all about America. And I couldn't think of a better thing to do. Well done, because they've got so many bridges that red, white, and blue, red, white, and blue, red, white, and blue. And you're like, oh, that's disgusting. If you think the colors of American flag are stupid and disgusting, and you don't like it, leave. I don't understand. Why would you think that? Like, if you don't like it, like I've used the example 1,000 times. If you go to a Mexican restaurant and you don't like their food, don't complain and keep going back. Just don't go back at all. Just never go back. But if you keep going back and back and back, and you're like, wow, this food is terrible. I can't believe I keep coming back. Well, then you're an idiot. I don't understand why you would even do that. It doesn't make any sense. But what does make sense, Jenna, is we're going to go to another commercial, and then I'm going to come back, and we're going to talk about, oh, God, this is the one I got to keep Jenna away from. Women are signing up for rage rituals, and it's hilarious. Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching The Rubio Method, a show on the NGBN.TV network.
Hi, Joel Maurer, founder of Dink Ninjas. Dink Ninjas was dreamed up and started right here in Austin, Texas, a dynamic pickleball community. We arm pickleballers with the paddles, apparel, and accessories to dink like a ninja. Dink Ninjas is dedicated to supporting mental health awareness and cancer research. Shop our full lineup at dinkninjas.com and enter code NGBNTV for 10% off site-wide.
Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Charles Wallace. You're doing a great job with the Bear Essentials podcast. Make sure you check him out. Check it out. He has great interviews all the time. He's just one of those guys that's real easy to talk to. He's got a nice, mellow voice. He's much calmer than I am. That's the Bare Essentials podcast. He does a great, great job. You find him on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and he has his own website too. I think it's just Bare Essentials Podcast. It does a great, great job. Welcome back to episode 63. Continue to like, subscribe, share on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and of course, X. We've got a phenomenal show. Let's talk about the section called Accept and Embrace. This one, I'm going to try as hard not to cry laughing at this one. It turns out that women all across the country, it's going to be hard, are signing up for rage rituals. Rage rituals. And I saw this and I thought it was a joke. I legit thought it was an SNL skit, Saturday Night Live. And I did some research. I was like, oh my God, this is a real thing. They're doing it to release suppressed emotions and reconnect with themselves. And they're paying to do it. Okay, Jenna, can you please show clip 4? What the hell was that? To release emotions, they're encouraged not to? Who's telling them not to release emotions? You got rage, you got rage. If you want to cry, you want to cry. If you want to be happy, be happy. But I want to know who's telling women. Jenna, am I telling you not to have your emotions? I don't get it. I don't understand it. And the thing is, it's not like they're doing something groundbreaking. They're taking a stick and just beating the hell out of the ground. Or hitting a pillow, or doing one had like that vampire makeup. I don't know if that was that prop makeup, Jenna, or was it mascara? Okay, Jenna's very emotional. Wear it on her sleeve. Good, let it rain, Daddy. I don't care if you want to cry, cry. If you want to yell, yell. But don't pay. I think they're costing like $250. Come give me $250. I'll give you a metal bat. You go in the backyard and beat the hell out of my grass. And I'll call it a rage. What is a rage ritual? People need to get a hobby or stop feeling so bad about themselves. Why are you why are you not expressing yourself? And why do you feel bad about yourself? You having a bad day at work? Okay, get one of those punching bags. You get a punching bag. What is it? Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that. Or go on the line to Amazon and get one. I just don't understand why someone would do this. And I can be honest, if I walked by a group doing this, I would think they're all weirdos. I'm like, what are you doing? This is not a normal thing here. It doesn't make any sense at all. But this all comes back to one thing, and it all comes back to over and over and over people. Number one, not expressing themselves, and number two, not allowing themselves to have pride. Not allowing themselves to have pride. Well, I'm going to get to that, but after this email question, Jenna, you got one for me? Let me see what I got here. The last two have been pretty darn good. Rubio, have you ever bought cryptocurrency? Holy hell! I have a little bit of crypto. That's what the people in the know call it. Okay, I have a little bit of crypto, not a lot, just a little bit, just to dabble my feet, but. I had a long snapper and his dad explain it to me one time. Those that don't know, I'm also a long semi coach. I travel the country, do all that good stuff. And then I also do public speeches and things like that. Just because I have this wild story of how I started, single mom. You've all heard this story, and how I created my own business, and people like to hear it. And I guess I can speak pretty well when I'm doing it. Trust me, when I speak at a corporate event, it sounds exactly like I'm talking right now. So if you're looking for corporate mumbo jumbo, not your guy. Okay, but if you want someone to hit brutal honesty, I'm your guy. So he comes up and he starts talking about crypto. And I'd heard a little bit about it. And I said, tell me more about it. I'm not joking. I felt like I ran 10 miles in 5 minutes. I was exhausted, like my mind hurt because I did not understand it. And he tried to explain it to me over and over and over and over. And he showed me websites and did Zoom calls and things like that. And it's just such a whole separate world. It's because it's just new concepts that you've never even heard of. So you don't even, it's like all of a sudden you find out a hamburger is called blue, but then you have to explain it that it's actually made with giraffe meat or something like that. I just didn't understand one thing that was happening, but I do have a little bit. Jenna, do you anything know about that? I mean, it's one of those, I am a wordsmith, Hannum. Well, Jenna, I told you not to put it up anymore. Now I'm fired up, but he did compliment me. So you can anytime he compliments me, Jenna, you can put him up. If he talks about poutine, don't put it up because it just makes me fired up. I am a wordsmith, but I'm a wordsmith in my own little way. It's not exactly those PC. After every episode, my mom gives me basically a report card, and she usually yelling about me saying something. I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have said that. And I still do it. So I don't know what to tell you. This goes back to all the things where everyone goes back to where they're not proud of who they are and what they've done. And you're like, what are you talking about, Rubio? This goes back to the conversation that I know this is going to be a cringe moment for some, but how people say we're living on stolen land. Well, we won. America won. That's real simple. Like, I'm sorry. You look at literally every country in the world. Okay. No one, did you think someone just grew from a seed out of the land? Someone had to start somewhere and then migrate over or move. You don't just come, boom, I was born in San Dimas, California. Okay. San Dimas, California. Wonderful. Okay. But my family moved from different parts of the country and the world, if you go back far enough. So every land is not stolen. Every land is won. So if you lose, you didn't get something stolen from you, you lost. So that's why I don't get the whole stolen land thing. And I've had people try to explain to me, like, okay, well, the Native Americans, the Indians, whatever you want to call them, they're upset because you're on stolen land. Well, but you lost. It's like the second place team saying, well, you stole my trophy. No, you lost, so you don't get the trophy. And so that's why I don't get it. And it goes back to this. This is a new trend that's really pissing me off, and I just don't get it. It's so cringeworthy that it makes me just nervous to even listen to it. This is where people start talking about land acknowledgements. Okay, so where you at the start of graduations and meetings and things like that, they'll say, first off, we want to acknowledge that this land was blank, blank, blank. What am I talking about? Janet, can you play clip 5 for me, please?
We would like to acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the territory of the Mohegan, Mashantucket Pequot, Eastern Pequot, Scotticoke, Golden Hill Paugussett, and Nipmuc peoples who have stewarded this land throughout the generations. We thank them for their strength and resilience in protecting this land and aspire to uphold our responsibilities according to their...
What? First of all, if I was in that crowd, I would have started laughing. I'm not even joking. I would have started roaring with laughter saying, this is stupid. Like, what are you talking about? And then she says, like, towards the end, they stood their strength and power for this land, but they're not on the land anymore. So they weren't that strong and weren't that powerful? Like, why would you, what does that make sense? Jenna, they've got to do that a lot in Canada. I'm sure they do, because you guys have all those rules and stuff. And the fact of having the reservations don't make sense. If you've ever been to a reservation, Jenna and I were talking about this beforehand, they're not exactly, let's say, usually super, super nice. That's me being kind and polite and saying it. If you just get everything for free, it doesn't mean a lot to you. Okay, and so that when you're not working for something, it doesn't make sense, because then you don't appreciate it. If you keep giving me pizza for free, don't get me wrong, I love pizza, and I'd probably take it. Actually, I would take it, especially that hot honey pizza. If you keep giving it for free, I'm not going to appreciate it anymore. It's going to be one of those things that what would I care? I don't care about it, and so that's what it's doing. Why can't we or anyone just be proud of who you are, and that you did dominate, that you are a stud? I mean, champions in sports, they do what right after they win? Rah, rah, rah. They do a little press conference, and then what do within a week? They have a championship tour. They have a championship parade. And they don't go up on the podium and say, yeah, we're really sorry for stealing this trophy from the second place team. They're like, hell no, we're fantastic. We're the one, wonderful. This is the greatest thing in the world. No kidding. You should be proud of it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it at all. Jenna, you want to go to commercial? Or, no, let's keep going. I'm on a roll right now. Working hard is not enough. Working hard is not oh God. Students across the country continue to act like crybabies over this Palestine, Hamas, Gaza thing. These are all things that 3 weeks ago, not one person would have even known. Or let's go 3 months. 3 months ago, no one would have known about it. No one cared. A year ago, they probably didn't even heard the word Gaza or Hamas or Palestine. And most of them, I guarantee about a year ago, if I said point to the Palestine on a map, they couldn't do it. They probably couldn't even get the entire region. But now it's their biggest cause in the world. And these kids, they're just acting like toddlers. And I was just texting one of my buddies a couple of days ago, and he said, this is a generation of toddlers that were allowed to be crybabies and were allowed to get away with things. And your mom or dad didn't just smack you around a little bit. And so now you've got just these grown-up toddlers that are acting like toddlers. Jenna, can you show us clip 6, please?
Joy Lynn Van Hassel. Bixia Chen. Ida Kamra.
What are you doing? So here's some background on that. This is at Columbia University. Remember, Columbia is a very quote unquote high academic school. I should know. I got admitted there and almost went there. No big deal. I actually did almost go there, and I did get admitted there. But it's obviously changed, and they're embarrassing themselves now. And how the SEALs in the crowd are just clapping, ha 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 ha! Yay! You're so powerful. You're holding up a Palestinian flag. Why? What is that going to do? Like what's the purpose of that? I don't even get it. And the first girl, she's a female queer identifying. What does that mean? You're a female queer identifying, so she's identifying as a female, or is she identifying as a queer? I don't. And how do you identify as one? Either I would assume either you are or you aren't. You're going to find out pretty quick at some point during the night. I don't know. Jenna, maybe look that one up. I don't know. She's ripping up her diploma. So let's say she paid for that. We're talking, I think Columbia's like 90 grand a year right now. So say she went for 4, that's what, $360,000, and she just ripped it up. And you're thinking, yeah, Jenna says female queer identifying must be curious. Yeah, I guess. So I know ripping it up doesn't ruin that. You still have your degree. It's in the air. It's like up there with crypto or whatever in the cloud that no one can understand. But it's one of those things. This is at a graduation. So in case you couldn't figure it out, they have their names printed and they have their names said out loud. And so it's one of those things that if I'm hiring for someone and I'm looking up, say her name is Jane Smith, and I do a little Google search for Jane Smith and I see she's this little tyrant who rips up her thing and acts like a toddler, am I hiring her? No, hell no. You'd be an idiot to hire her. And same with the other ones. The other ones are just showing me that they're these sheep and they're going to go along with whatever's going on. And, oh, I've got my Palestinian flag. And it's just stupid. Email question. Remember, you can email Rubio at therubiomethod.com. Rubio, if you could get rid of any one state, what would it be and why? Oh, Jenna. Oh, this is a good one. Whoever wrote this one in. Rubio, if you could get rid of any one state and why? Oh, good God. I don't know. Because I know. So the sub question would be, does everyone in the state have to go as well? So there's a lot of sub questions here because like California has great weather, great scenery, but it's way too crowded. There's too many people and the beliefs of all of it are insane. Same thing with like Washington. Washington has good areas and bad areas. Most of it is great. Jenna's telling me don't overthink it. I think I would get rid of I would pick one state that has humidity. Any state that has humidity, I'm out. So it would, whichever state has the highest percentage of humidity for the longest time, and not Florida because I like the Keys. So it'd have to be like one of those Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Georgia, something like that. Okay. Jenna says that's a piss poor. Why is that a wrong answer? I think that's a great answer. I'm sorry. Good God. Maybe I'm going to pick Canada, Jenna. Good Lord. Duke University had a big controversy as well. Duke University had Canada's not a state, Jenna. She's telling me I should pick Canada. That's a country. It is a country, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, whatever. Duke University had a big controversy at its graduation because of the speaker they choose. They chose this extremely controversial speaker. I mean, when I saw who they chose and I saw the video, I was like, oh, my God, how could you do this, Duke University? Because remember, Duke is a very high prestigious university as well. They chose this extremely strange, crazy, controversial speaker. Jenna, can you play clip 7, please?
Take it. My point is we're embarrassed about things we should be proud of and proud of things we should be embarrassed about. When I was writing my TV series, thanks. What a crowd.
So Jerry Seinfeld was this controversial speaker. The people were so mad. There was like 100 people or so that literally left the graduation. Like students and parents left the graduation because they were so, oh my God, I can't believe they picked Jerry Seinfeld. Because he's a Jew. Who cares? He's funny. Who cares? This is the stupidest thing in the world. And you can see the way they responded that he says, okay, you're proud of things you should be embarrassed about, or you're embarrassed of things you should be proud about. And they don't even know that that's funny. And that's true. They don't even know, hey, should we laugh or not? Let me look to this person next to me, the one that's identifying queer female. What should I laugh? Am I allowed to laugh at that? So it's just a bunch of sheep, and it doesn't make any sense that how is this guy controversial? And if you think he's controversial, God knows you're not watching my show, but it's one of those things that if you think that's rough around the edges, you're going to live a very, very rough life, because once you get into the real world and people don't pander to you at all times, you're going to be screwed. Let's talk about Canada, Jenna, shall we? Canada recently spent $8 million. Okay, you're thinking, okay, Rubio, for what? Well, back in 2021, archaeologists, they're digging around, and they are in Kamloops, BC. I think that's a city. I think Jenna said she was from there or something. And they're looking at Kamloops, BC. They're looking with this archaeologist equipment, I'm assuming radars or whatever, and they find indigenous children's bodies that were allegedly buried under former residential school in Kamloops. So they say, and they go, oh my God, this is first reported in May 2001. They detected 215 unmarked graves at an old school in Kamloops in Manitoba. I guess that's another city. And so they have this archaeology equipment. They have 215 unnamed graves, unmarked graves. I don't know what that means if they're underneath the dirt. How do you mark a graves underneath? Manitoba is a province. What does that mean? Is that like state in American? I don't know. I don't speak Canadian, Jenna. And so they immediately start saying, oh my God, these are all the indigenous people. They were buried. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And so people start freaking out. I mean, like freaking out. And you're like, okay, Rubio, what do you mean freaking out? They burnt 100 churches and vandalized 100 churches. So burnt or vandalized 100 churches. And I'm talking not just like, here's a big lighter on the church door. We're talking burn them to the ground because they were so pissed. But they only burnt Catholic and Christian churches because those were the ones that allegedly buried these 215 unmarked graves. And so they spent $8 million trying to dig up these unmarked graves and put these kids in a better grave because they're already dead, blah, blah, blah. It was all fake. Not one thing was real. Thank you, Nana Mona. You speak Canadian. Okay. And then unmarked grave means they put dead bodies in a pile and covered it. Oh, okay. But it turns out it wasn't real. There was nothing there. All it was dirt and rocks. So these Canadians spent $8 million to try to justify this means that, oh my God, we're going to burn all these churches because I don't know why. Why would you? What the hell does that have to do with anything? And we're going to vandalize these churches because, well, I don't know why either. It doesn't make sense to me. And then it turns out it was all fake. There was not one body, not one grave. It was just rocks and dirt. So 8 million, Jenna, you said it, stupid Canadians. And just, what are you thinking? Why? And it just shows how today's society, everyone just jumps on something like, oh my God, 215 indigenous kids' graves. What are we going to do? Let's set this church on fire because, yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Let's vandalize it too. Okay, what? Yeah? No. So we've got, how many more segments left? One more segment left. So we're going to go to commercial. We'll talk and come back to confidence is the key. And we'll do the bottom line. Remember, that's all the stuff you should have learned without even realizing you learned it. Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching The Rubio Method.
Our dedicated staff is ready to work for you. ArcBeat specializes in custom apparel. Call us or order online. Free shipping nationwide. Custom printed shirts are our specialty, and we make sure you get exactly what you want. Bring in your own design or let our team create one for you. Promote your business, event, or club with pens, caps, bottles, mugs, and more.
Creating cool since 1985.
Take it away, Rubio. Take it away, Rubio.
Why does that keep going double time? But I like it. Focus up. I'm talking to you. Nick Rolovich. Nick Rolovich was a former coach at WSU, former coach at Hawaii. He's just an outstanding man. He's got great morality. He's someone that you want your kids to emulate. That's all I'm going to say. And I've met him several times, and the dude is stand-up guy. Shout out to Rolovich. Confidence is the key. Confidence is the key. Rolovich's got a lot of confidence too. I love that. Boise State football coach, since we're talking about football coaches, Boise State football coach is making a bold new rule for freshmen. Okay, so for freshmen, he's saying you are not allowed to have an NIL deal. An NIL deal means name, image, and likeness. So when I played football at UCLA back in the day, no big deal, we were not allowed to make money off a name, image, and likeness. So they couldn't, like in the student store, you say our star player was I can't remember what number it was, 10, I think it was, Cade McNown. They would sell number 10 jerseys, but they were not allowed to put his number on, or his name on anything, because that would be, you bought it because of him, even though everyone knew number 10 was Cade McNown. So they couldn't put number 64 Rubio, sell them, but now you can sell it and you can make money off it. So that's where you get the name, image, and likeness. So I could hire a college athlete right now and say, I'll pay you $100 a day. Every day, I want you to go and do a 1-minute commercial for the Rubio method. No problem. I could do it, and they're allowed to make money for it. So the problem is that the big schools, the rich schools, they have a lot more money. The bigger schools, they have a bigger fan base, and they're getting these NIL collectives where they're just putting all this money together, and they're saying, there's this top tier quarterback. Okay, we're going to give him $10 million for his name, image, likeness. And so if you're a smaller school, you're not going to get that much money because you just don't, your enrollment's not as big, your alumni is not as big, you don't have as many people going to your games. So let's say at Alabama, they have 100,000 people at every single game, and their fans are rabid fans. I mean, they're really, really into the Roll Tide. That's one of those things where they're going to get more money. So this football coach is saying no NIL deals for freshmen. They have to earn it. Now, this is great morally. I think, wow, what a stand-up guy. This is outstanding. Do I think it's going to work? I do not. I think it's going to backfire immensely. I think either he's going to get fired within probably a year, or he's going to he's going to get fired, or they're just not going to win, because you're not going to be able to get top tier freshmen unless your sophomores, juniors, and seniors are just raking in the money, because fortunately / unfortunately, all the top athletes are going to where their money is. And I think, like I said, I think it's great morally. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Would I tell my own kid to go to Boise State now? No, I would not. And you could say, well, Ruby, that's wrong. 100% it's wrong. But I'm not stupid. If my kid can make $100,000 at, say, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, or zero at Boise State, I'd be stupid not to tell my kid to go get the money while you can. You can only get NIL money while you're in college, and you're not going to be in college forever. I don't know what to tell you. So it's a great idea. I don't think it's going to work. In my opinion, if he's going to do something like this, I would say go to the military academies, Army, Navy, Air Force, all those schools where it's a much stricter environment, because you're getting the kids there that they're not looking for NIL money. They're looking to serve their country and play football and get an education. So they're not as, let's say, needy so much. But I don't know what to tell you. I also want to thank everyone that's watching on LinkedIn, X, YouTube, and Facebook. Make sure you subscribe, share, tell everyone what's going on. We got about 5 minutes left in the show. One last email question, Jenna, and then I'll get to the last part. Rubio, what's something on your bucket list? I want to go to Italy. But I want to go first class or private jet. So if anyone has a private jet that they would like to take me to Italy on, simply because that's a long flight and I don't like to be uncomfortable. I think it would be awesome. But when I go to Italy, I want to lose about 15 pounds first, because when I go there, I want to let it rain. Like, I want to eat to the point where I black out every meal, and I'm going to take little siestas where I'm eating. So I don't even want to move. I want to be to the point of uncomfortable eating. And so I want to go to Italy, but I want to do it wine, cheese, and bread. I'll take the cheese. I'll take the bread. I don't want the wine. My wife does wine. I'm not a wine guy. Wine, to me, it needs to be cold. Like, it's like warm grape juice. And I want to be the guy that drinks wine because I know you look cool and it's a chic thing to do, and it's very adulty. I just can't do it. It's just, especially when it's hot. And I've had white wine because that can be cold, and it's too buttery / no, I can't do it. The Washington Commanders. Okay, if you don't know who the Washington Commanders are, they're the Washington Redskins. They're an NFL team, but during 2020, when all hell was breaking loose and everything was racist, they switched their logos to the Commanders because the Redskins logo was just too racist. You can't do that. That was the same time they took away Aunt Jemima's syrup, because having a black lady on syrup, that's a code red for you're a racist. I don't get it. They took away Big Ben's rice because having a black dude on rice was bad as well. It didn't make any sense to me. So the Commanders are being sued. Who are they being sued by? The Native American Guardians Association. Okay, Jenna, can you show me the picture of the Redskins logo? So this is their logo. This used to be their logo. Now it just says Commanders, and it's kind of stupid. I don't even think they have an actual mascot anymore. So the logo on the helmet is an actual person named Chief Whitecalf, and the logo was drawn by another Indian or Native American, whatever you want to call him. So a Native American / Indian drew it. It's of a real dude, okay? And so the National Native American Guardian Association is saying, hey, man, why would you take this dude down? Every time you go on the field, they were honoring him with quote unquote integrity and courage. Yeah, man. Every single time you don't pick your mascot as something that's weak and feeble and pathetic. You pick a dude that's a badass. So this Chief Whitecalf, I guess, was a badass. And they wanted to honor him by saying, yeah, this dude's tough. Let's put him on our logo because we're representing him with quote unquote integrity and courage. And then some people that were pissed off about anything said, no, you can't. That's rude to the Indians, the Native Americans. And then the Native Americans and Indians came back and said, well, what are you talking about? Okay. And they did this at Florida State as well because they have the tomahawk, whatever. And they even asked like the Seminole tribe, because they're the Florida State Seminoles, what do you think about this? Is this offensive? They're like, hell no, let it rain. And so, yeah. It's a no-brainer. So I'm glad. I hope you get sued, and I hope it goes right back to the old logo because, to be honest, that logo's kind of tough. It looks pretty damn good. So let's wrap up episode 63. We've got the bottom line. The bottom line is everything that you should have learned without even realizing you learned it. Number one, who cares what they think of you? This goes back to the first story I told you guys today. Who cares what they think of you? If they think you're an ass, but you know you're not an ass, you're not an ass. If they think you smell, but you don't smell, then you don't smell. And remember what my grandfather said. The day you find out someone doesn't like you was one of the best days in your life because then you don't have to act like you like them anymore. So fantastic. Shout out to Don Farrar. That's my grandpa. Number two. Be proud of who you are and what you have achieved in life. Be proud of who you are and what you've achieved in life. Whether it's on land, you won a trophy, or like you just be proud of who you are. Okay, it's okay. You're okay to say, I won, I'm dominant, I'm the champion. If you're not, don't say it. But if you are, let it rain. It's okay. And number three, hopefully I get this word right, Jenna. Okay. It is good, no great to have morals, but make sure they are applicable. I said it right, Jenna. Applicable in certain situations. It is good, no great to have morals, but make sure they are applicable in certain situations. All right, so this goes back to what we were talking about with the Boise State head coach. It's a great idea, but it's not going to work, man. I hope it does work. I'm pulling for you, but I don't think it's going to work because everyone is just too selfish and greedy right now. Next episode is going to be most likely next Tuesday or Monday. I have to do a little bit of traveling, so it's going to be next Tuesday or Monday. I'll work it out with Jenna and see exactly what we can come up with, but it might be a little earlier in the day as well. We shall see. We had a great show. I want to thank everyone for commenting. If you have any questions, you can email Rubio at therubiomethod.com and make sure you subscribe on Spotify, Google, Apple, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and of course, X. On that note, Jenna, I'm out.
Thanks for watching The Rubio Method. Be sure to spread the word and don't forget to subscribe, like, or follow on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook.